Welcome to the Weather Guru Podcast for November 12th, 2024. On this Tuesday edition, we'll be looking at the weather in the lower 48, and then we're going to venture out into the tropics here in just 1 second. First, I want to show you the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook courtesy of Privilege Weather. As you can see, the eastern 2/3 of the country is going to be above average temperatures despite a cool down as the jet stream dips down further south in the eastern 2/3 of the country coming up Wednesday through Saturday here. But still, we're going to be above average considering that this is going to be a La Nina year in wintertime. We're going to be well above average in the northeast, the Great Lakes, and the deep south, Ohio Valley, and then out into the upper plains in the Midwest. We're going to be below average temperatures here in the blue shading and the dark blue shading for the Four Corners region, all the way up in the Intermountain West and into California, and up into the PNW, the Pacific Northwest, in the next 6 to 10 days. So that's what we have going on here as far as temperatures. As far as hazards going on, it's been a pretty beautiful day. Tranquil weather for majority of the country here. Very excellent weather for the lower 48. Now, we do have that burn ban still in effect for the lower Hudson Valley of New York, upstate New York, all of Massachusetts, all of Connecticut, and Rhode Island. You guys are still under, and New York and Long Island as well. You're into that red flag warning, so no burning, no outdoor burning, and all of that stuff, and a little bit of northern New Jersey too as well. And that burn ban, red flag warning. So we have a freeze watch in effect, freeze warning in effect, for those areas you're coming down south of Richmond there in Petersburg, Virginia, and Richmond and those counties exactly to the west there on I-95. And also we have winter weather advisories in purple here for Utah, Salt Lake City, Ogden, Park City, Utah, and then up into Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and areas like that. And then out west in Northern California here, coming over to Truckee Pass, Lake Tahoe, of course, and those areas north of those mountains, the Sierra Nevada mountains north. And then we have in purple and the bluish color there, we have a freeze watch for the southern central Joaquin Valley from Fresno up to 99 through Turlock and all those areas in California. And then we have wind warnings, wind advisories for those areas coming across Nevada there and up to Oregon, those areas through the passes in southern Oregon there and those mountains there as well as the Cascade Pass mountains there, Stevens Pass, Richards Pass, White Pass there. Wind advisories are in effect. High profile vehicles, please use caution as you're making your way through that area. Now, looking at the water vapor imagery, you can see a bunch of dry air in the eastern 2/3 of the country here. We have this brief frontal trough boundary here that's providing some showers here from Midland, Odessa up through Lubbock over to OKC, Tulsa, back up to Kansas, Wichita, and Kansas City, Missouri area. Otherwise, dry air dominates. We have this dip in the jet stream over here in the west here, this little buckle here, is providing that snow, additional snow along the back range of the front range of the Rockies here. Denver, Boulder, Vail, Breckenridge, the usual suspects, and then the Wyoming there. That's where the moisture is at. And then the moisture, the Pineapple Express is starting to come up again into Seattle, Portland. The usual train of moisture is just about getting ready to enter. But dry air in SoCal, Southern California, also in the high and low deserts, Arizona, Yuma, typical, and New Mexico. They need to dry out after all that snow they've had up in northern New Mexico and the southern Colorado. So that's what we have in the water vapor. Now, looking at the tropical outlook, 60% chance that this is going to become Tropical Storm Sara here in the next day or so. No surprise there. Same area, this is forming around the same world that Raphael formed at. It's looking at like next week the GFS model does have this coming up in the Gulf and possibly deflecting back toward Florida. We're at the wait in that same area possibly that Barrow hit and toward Perry and the Catcher's Mid area of Florida. We'll have to wait and see. It's too far out. But that's what it's looking like right now. So it's given a high chance of probability that this system will develop. Right now it's just a big organized gyre of different low pressures there. So we haven't had a center, pinpoint the center yet. That will be coming later on this week, possibly by Friday or so, they'll have a center. So that's what we have going on. National Hurricane Center has marked that area there. Like I said, a high chance in 7 days and 90% chance. It's basically guaranteed this is going to be Sara. Right now they have the center somewhere south of Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, southeast. And it's just kind of meandering around there in the Gulf. It could be very strong. I wouldn't be surprised by next week this becomes our next major hurricane. It's going to be at least a category 1 or 2, possibly a borderline category 3 hurricane before weakening when it comes up through land interaction, depending on how much land interaction it comes to before getting into the Gulf. So we'll have to wait and see. The good news is in the Gulf, like I said, once again, there's a bunch of dry air, wind shear. But like I said, these storms, it's very tricky to forecast this late in the season. They can see it right there. It has very healthy convection in this area, south of Jamaica, southeast of Jamaica, and Haiti. So there is heavy convection there. there, and it's just very tricky to forecast because normally these storms are deflected away from Florida, further away from the Bahamas and the Caribbean, but the Bermuda High is, steering one steering currents, but it's also this trough, and this jet stream is forecast to dip very, very low, and so that may deflect it, further west, or may deflect it back toward Florida. So, all possibilities on the table until we get to the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, this coming weekend, and then I'm sure everybody will know where it's going based on the models, the GFS or Euro or Icon or whatever model that you use. But the main line is be prepared for heavy rain, and most of these storms too. One more thing I should mention: these storms have been heavily east side loaded with moisture. The west side of most of these storms that have made landfall this year have been eroded by dry air, wind shear. Most of these storms have been blown off with heavy wind shear, and they've been east side loaded. And that's what happened to that storm that disintegrated in the Gulf of Mexico just a couple of days ago. You remember Rafael? They've been east side loaded with moisture and winds, and so Florida, you should be prepared for at least tropical storm watches and warnings anywhere from Tampa, St. Pete down to Naples, Collier County, Key West. Of course, that's going to be guaranteed probably later on this weekend, Sunday and the Monday next week. And then you should be on the least prepared for rain, at least 2 to 3 inches of rain, 4 inches possible, 5 inches, as this system gets closer to you, because it's going to be interacting with all this, the jet stream and enhanced moisture. So be prepared for that when this system comes across like that. Its name is going to be Sara. The one after that is Tony, if we find another system if we see another system and it's going to be developing. Right now we just have Sara out there. Sara that's going to be basically named here probably by Friday. At the latest, we'll have Sara in there, and so as the next tropical storm. So be prepared for that. This has been the Weather Guru podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for your support. Talk to you soon.